What up guys, Benji here, just home from a lovely little LAN event we had out in Eastwood, Sydney. It's a great event actually. It was run by COMON Gaming Cafe, something like that. It was a pretty damn good event. It was a 32 player single elimination tournament. Some pretty big names show up. I got to meet a lot of really awesome people. There's a few interesting stories there. I'll have a write up on sc2c.com explaining some nice stuff here. But these are the finals here. If you haven't seen what's happened so far, if you want to watch the other games, there are replays out there somewhere. Don't watch this. But the first game here, between TAriiChard here, who got to the finals, in an interesting way. We'll go into that later. It's against YoonYj. So actually, I was sitting behind TAriiChard as he was playing this game, and this is straight after, okay, basically top 4 was 4 Terrans, so all the Zergs got knocked out in the round of 8. I was one of them. I know, I had to play on Delta Quadrant and Lost Temple, and there's cliffs there, and they put some stuff on the cliffs, and I'm like, fuck, there's stuff on my cliffs. Sorry about the language, but yeah. All the Zergs were knocked out, and straight after this, Richard here literally played like 6 games, because he played a 30-minute game on Steps of War. Yeah, you're like, what? Yeah. And at the 32-minute mark, Richard puts down a fusion core, and I'm like, battle cruisers, yeah, and bam, BattleNet drops out, and it's like, fuck, and like, it's not like, oh, battle cruisers would have won it. Richard was actually down a base. His opponent had both goals, but they were both holding. It wasn't going to end anytime soon. It would have gone for another 15 minutes, in my opinion. So Richard is tired as hell, whereas YoonYj went through Animal. He won 3-2. It was actually quite close. Animal from Ecor took 2 games at the start. Actually pretty good games. I was actually really surprised. Although YoonYj made one mistake in one of them. Let's not go into that though. So he's had a rest. He's good. He's ready to win this game. And Richard here is just like tired as anything. So I don't want to make excuses for him. Yoon is an amazing player. He's great to watch. Richard is good as well. Obviously getting to the top 2 in the tournament. I don't know who wins. Oh, I do know who wins. I was just there literally like an hour ago watching this game, so this is good. I'm excited. Oh my god. But yes, obviously Richard here just getting out of that Brax and the gas early on. So this is pretty much standard openings from these guys. Things that obviously Splody play some really interesting locations there. Probably to like scout for drops and stuff as they're coming, so you can see it when it hits here instead of hits here. Gives you more time to react to it. That and Banshees. This is actually really interesting. YoonYj hides his SCV back here. I was watching the game, and literally Richard, when he sees this SCV scout him, it actually happens like in 5 minutes time. He's like, what the hell? He was like shocked out of anything, sees his build, and he's like, oh damn. So you guys out there, you want to try something cool, throw that SCV in there. It's really awesome. But yeah, Richard's just going for a classic 1-1-1 build. A lot of Banshee playing the tournament. Obviously, like the top 4 players were Terrans, so not only do we have the round of 4 games all being TVT, best of 5 by the way, it's also best of 5. We also had the finals and the 3rd, 4th place being TVT. So by the end of this tournament, it ran well over time because it's just like 30-minute games from everyone. Everyone was just tired and sick of TVT, and right now I do not want to cast another one, but here I am doing TVT for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. So here we go, Tech Lab for Yoon. He's actually got a very standard good play from him. Like a few Terran players there, I'm not going to name names, they did kind of gimmicky openings like Banshees and drops and that kind of stuff. Yoon, being very he's just like, yes, awesome, I'm good. Here comes a scout now by YoonYj. Richard's just like, oh my god, I saw him do this, and he just went, wow. Scout your base, guys, scout your base. Hey Richard, how you going? Yeah, scout your base. By the way, Richard is a really, really goddamn nice guy, seriously. I didn't really know him before the tournament, you know, had to meet with him, he's really awesome. In fact, all the people that went there are pretty damn cool. Yep, YoonYj here. Got double gas up, pretty standard stuff. He is pumping out tanks now, so going for that tank stuff. Interesting thing, in his game against Animal in game 1, he did like a nice 1-base push with 3 tanks and marines across the top of Shakura's Plateau. Got there, broke down the rocks, and forgot Siege. Had to turn around and go back. That was great. YoonYj makes one mistake, and he lost the game because of that as well. He would have done a lot of damage. Had to wait till Siege was done, went back again and got rolled. His opponent was a base up as well. It's unlucky. So I imagine he will get Siege deck this time. He is selecting it now. He's probably gonna like, oh my god, I must get it. Yeah, started it. There you go. Over here we actually have Siege deck from Richard, a little bit faster. We do have here a few Marines trying to get away, trying to pick up the SCV. Great micro there by Yoon. Doesn't even lose a Marine for it, and he will back away there. So interesting actually watching these games from the replay. I've only ever seen this from Richard's point of view. So I've looked at Yoon for a bit here. What's he got? He's got 2 tanks here. Hasn't quite got Siege tech going along here. Still researching, about almost halfway done. Getting a tech lab on something as well. What is that something? I don't know. Cool, there's a tech lab somewhere. Oh, it's blue. Never mind. Blue's getting a tech lab on his starport. We'll get a Raven straight out of this. Watch, watch, watch. Wait for it. No, he's not going to have enough gas for it. Fail. Go on, gas. Gas. Raven. How did I know this? Yeah, he's getting a Raven. How did I know this? I don't know. I've just watched the game. It's cool. Yeah, awesome. I won't spoil the game for you. It's a bit slack. But this is actually a really nice group of units he has here. This Helion, actually good for scouting and stuff. He does try... He gets a good scout with this now, so let's have a little bit of follow here. He wants to see YoonYj's base. Like, right now, he doesn't even know it's expanded. Actually, he does know it's expanded, sorry. There was actually a pause there for a second. A bit of lag, I believe. Yeah, YoonYj was lagging a little bit. It's funny, like, they're sitting right next to each other. But thanks to Blizzard and no land play, they're connecting through a server in, like, Indonesia or something, so... Go figure. But they're actually not next to each other. That'd be like, oh, I can see what you're doing. It's actually opposite, so you guys can kind of get a picture of how the land was. Comes in here, mistargets command center for a bit, and then actually goes for SCV, but he's going to get chased away by those units. I'm kind of curious if he did, you know, target the SCV to start with, he might have actually killed it. Second SCV down here, that's not like he would have lost much time. Not game changing in the slightest. Small in his clicks there. I just want to point out as well, these guys, I mean, we weren't allowed to bring around keyboards and mice, and you might think, oh my god, why? They're sponsored by Logitech, and they actually have really good keyboards and mice, but you really couldn't set it up so it was perfect, you know what I mean? Like, even if you bring your mouse and keyboard, getting the settings just right like it's home is different, because you're using a different monitor and different computer, actually, so players here aren't going to be playing quite as well as they would at home, so anyway, we do actually have an attack here from YoonYj across around this side. He loves his path and zone. We did it against Animal as well. Sort of using the bushes here to hide sight and having air control so he can see past it, which forces scans, which costs money. But here we have Richard counter-attacking as well down the exact same side. So both players are like, yeah, we're that baller. We do the same thing. Viking lands and does a bit of a hobble with the army as well. But yeah, Yoon's going to come for his bushes first. Scans ahead, sees his base coming in, is like, okay, cool. Yoon's has been up for a little bit now, actually getting a lot of money from that, getting a slight advantage. Check the income table quickly. There's a whole drone behind, actually. But anyway, here comes the nice push here. Siege is up. What can you do? Really? Pick up. His army's completely out of position. Here is just like, well, what do you do? If you turn back, you've lost the game. You're going to lose your expansion, and then you're a base down, you've done no damage. Instead, you just push into here, and this is a bit more of an exciting battle here. Loses the Raven for that turret there, so completely useless in that behalf. SCV's coming out trying to take damage here, but really just not enough stuff there. He's going to push through. He's going to lose a lot of stuff though. Now this is where the game gets really interesting, alright? He's going to push up into this main here, and over here we've got obviously drops happening. This tank here being repaired, holding Richard's main. But this main over here is completely down. He's got a couple of Vikings, he's got a lot of SCVs, he's trying to do damage. The Vikings blocking this, it lands the Vikings, and SCV's doing a lot of damage, but taking a lot of damage as well. Richard does actually lose his army now. Bit unfortunate here, look at this. Income tab, lost about 11 droves. Now the problem is that YoonYj's being safer. He's sieging up along here, dropping these units into the main. Siege tank here is just like, so, yeah, you're right, killing the Marines so he can't get sight. Drops back here though, unfortunately. Or fortunately, sorry, for YoonYj at least. Viking versus Viking here. Looks like the Viking gets a fair shot here, this one. YoonYj will take that as well. Tank out of position. Oh, tried to re-siege on that ledge. It's really hard judging distances in TVT, but yes, right now Yoon is in a great position. He's killing his opponent from main. He's got 3 tanks sieged here, and look, he's got his natural still up. His main's really not taking any damage at all. So all incoming from Richard. Sends the SCVs, does a bit of damage, and there's a GG as well. Richard though not too happy with that. There it is. There's the game. That was good fun. I gotta say, I was watching him play that game. I mean, YoonYj is better, and pretty much everyone picked him to take the tournament after we saw the lineup. But well played. That's game 1. We'll jump into game 2 soon. I'm sure I'm going to start another video for that, so just hit that next button and go, yes, I want to watch game 2. It's also good. Thanks for listening, and watch game 2.